ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Tonight, new developments on the Orange County oil spill as investigators target a possible cause for the rupture in the underwater pipeline. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. We are learning officials were aware of this hours before the energy company reported it. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest on this environmental disaster, including the first lawsuit filed in the matter.
As crews race to contain and clean this massive oil spill off the Southern California coast, new questions over when authorities first knew about it. According to reports obtained by ABC News, the first apparent call spotting sheen, that thin layer of oil smearing the surface of the water, came at 8:22 Friday. Then 5 hours later, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration satellite took this image, showing what NOAA said with high confidence was oil. But it wasn't until 8:55 the next day, 12 hours later, that Amplify Energy reported a spill.
That this tragedy did not need to occur and does not need to persist into the future.
This is a terrible tragedy, and we're, extremely sorry this happened. Obviously, the cause of this will still need to be investigated.
As investigators lean into the timeline, the first lawsuit linked to the disaster filed in federal court. According to the class action lawsuit against Beta Offshore, a California business owner who regularly performs along Huntington Beach alleges he's losing business due to the closure of the beach and other consequences of the spill. The legal fallout just as officials learn more about the cause of the disaster. Officials say the pipeline that runs just a few miles off the coast of Orange County was likely ruptured by a passing ship's anchor. ABC's Matt Gutman out on the ocean as crews continue the cleanup.
Pretty much everywhere you look, you can fish out these oil tar balls that are floating on the surface of the oil. And also everywhere you look, you can see that sheen of oil on the surface.
Meanwhile, fish and wildlife experts rescuing birds from the sludge. It's believed it could take weeks to assess the impact to wildlife. Residents left in disbelief.
Well, it's heartbreaking.
And Amplify Energy says it will cooperate with authorities, but officials tell ABC News this is likely to turn into a criminal investigation. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Ocean conservation groups are keeping a close eye on this oil spill with concern of what this could mean for wildlife and our beaches down here in San Diego County. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke to the CEO of Surfrider Foundation to find there is still concern about that oil reaching our waters.
It's really heartbreaking, right?
Dr. Chad Nelson is the CEO of the Surfrider Foundation. He spent the last several days in Huntington Beach as oil continues to wash ashore from a massive oil leak in the ocean. Beaches closed to the public.
It's devastating to see that loss of access.
The Surfrider Foundation has 200 chapters across the country, including right here in San Diego County. Their mission is to protect oceans and beaches and wildlife, which in Orange County are now full of toxic oil.
It's a cautionary tale for all of us. We've spent a lot of time fighting offshore drilling off our coastlines, and now we're calling for permanent bans.
Earlier today, Congressman Mike Levin calling for the end to offshore drilling and the passage of his bill, the American Coast and Oceans Protection Act.
Is a grave ecological disaster. And it's devastating to see the wildlife that are being harmed.
The concern now shifting to if and when this oil will make its way to San Diego County. It's estimated to be moving south at a half knot an hour. Dr. Nelson from Surfrider says historically it is possible for oil to travel far from the original point of the spill.
In the coming days and next week, we're going to have to keep our eyes out and really see what happens to San Diego County.
As crews work to clean up the oil washing ashore, the Surfrider Foundation is also looking ahead, already signing up roughly 5,000 volunteers to keep an eye out for any oil washing ashore, long after hazmat crews are done with their job.
If we catch any oil that comes in the weeks or months ahead that washes up on our coastlines, we can report that and get the authorities to clean it up.
And Dr. Nelson says he will also be watching to ensure whoever is responsible for this spill is held accountable. Again, as of right now, that spill has not reached our beaches.
All right, if you have some beach plans over the next few days, they might want to cut them short. The county is advising San Diegans to avoid the water at all beaches and bays because of our recent rain. Officials are warning about urban runoff, which can cause bacteria levels to rise in our coastal waters after a storm. County officials are advising to avoid the ocean for at least the next 72 hours. Turning now to more on our weather. Things are much quieter tonight after that wild storm brought hundreds of lightning strikes to the county, even starting some fires. More on that in a moment. Nice quiet night tonight. Our meteorologist Angelica Campos is here with a look at what's to expect.
Hi, Steve. And of course, the run-up a big concern in areas like Encinitas and San Diego, where we saw over ½ an inch of rainfall. So it's going to be a lot more than we typically see going into the oceans. Over towards Granite Hills, this is one of the places that picked up the most rain, getting over 3/4 of an inch. And as we go towards the end of the week, we're going to see more rain in the forecast. Tomorrow morning, it's possible low clouds could lead to drizzle in the morning, and we may see a repeat also on Thursday morning, but the best chance looks like it's going to be Thursday night into Friday morning. That is when it will see the next batch of rain as the next storm system moves into the region. We'll be tracking another storm potentially into next week. We'll have the timing and what to expect, how much rain is on the way in your 7-day forecast.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. Thank you, Angelica. And cleanup is underway from the dozens of lightning strikes that hit across San Diego County overnight. And that was the moment a bolt of lightning struck trees behind a home in La Mesa. Neighbors rushed over to help.
They ran into the backyard. Lady that was there, she said, grab a hose. Embers started to fall on her shed, on the roof, so they started wetting those down.
We're told there were 16 911 calls last night for possible fires due to lightning strikes.
Vaccine and mask mandates in schools have caused major divisions, and now there are calls for protection. School board meetings across the nation have become heated during public comment and in some cases hostile. Our ABC 10 News reporter Ryan Hill explains what's being done to keep those meetings and those who run them safe.
The California and National School Boards Associations are asking for state and federal agencies to urge law enforcement to do more when it comes to having safety and protection at school board meetings. They say that these disruptions are causing their meetings to be put on hold and not be able to do the work that they're elected to do.
If they do not wear their mask, we cannot continue the business of the board at this point in time.
It happened with Vista Unified School Board.
We are adjourning this meeting due to the ongoing disruption to our meeting and the concerns for the safety and the well-being of staff and students.
And with Poway USD School Board. Meetings being held up or canceled for safety concerns and disruption from protesting. Now the California School Boards Association, or CSBA, is calling on Governor Newsom and the State Attorney General to do something about it.
What we want is just a quick response from law enforcement, that they enforce those laws and make sure that there's a safe atmosphere and that the meeting can continue.
The National School Boards Association is making a similar request to President Joe Biden, asking for federal agencies to do the same. Something the Poway Unified Board president says is needed.
We need to be able to do our work for our students. So if we were able to have more support so that we could remove the people who are causing us to not be able to proceed with our meeting how we should, that would be extremely helpful.
CSBA says, to be clear, a small percentage of law enforcement agencies have been called out to these kinds of situations but haven't acted. Both Poway's school board president and CSBA embrace and respect people's First Amendment right and hope something can get done so they can do the jobs they were elected to do in person.
We all don't want to stay on Zoom, but unfortunately, without the support and protection, that is the only way that we're able to get the business done.
The Poway Unified School Board president tells me that the board has met with local law enforcement to try to figure out if there can be any type of protocols put in place and what could law enforcement do if they are called out to a meeting that is unruly. Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.
San Diego's hotel industry is trying to bounce back after taking a big hit during the pandemic. The president of Omni Hotels tells us they're about 90% full on weekends, which is normal for this time of year. But it's still slow during the week, with the hotel only about 50% full. The San Diego Tourism Authority CEO says that they're trying to encourage companies to resume scheduling in-person business travel and meetings.
It's time for us to get our economy back starting to work. And so we need to get back out and travel, and we need to get back out to meet at conventions.
Experts do say they don't expect everything to fully rebound until at least 2023.
Legislation focused on early childhood education in California is now law. Governor Newsom signed it today while visiting a Fresno County school. It includes the state giving free pre-kindergarten for all 4-year-olds starting in 2022-23 school year. The entire plan costs about $124 billion. $10 million of that is dedicated to more dual language programs for students.
People are not left behind, they start behind. And that's why it's foundational and fundamental that we begin at the beginning. If you're going to address the systemic challenges that we face as a nation, as a state, the issues of income and wealth disparity, you have to begin at the beginning. I would argue it's prenatal care, 0 to 3, not just 0 to 5. But here we are advancing a framework that I think will make all Californians proud.
This comes just days after Newsom announced a COVID-19 vaccine mandate for all California students.